Welcome back to Plow and Sword Homestead. Today I will be sharing with you my tried and true must-have things I always use, tools and supplies in the garden. And hopefully this will give you some help when it comes to your own garden journey. These things I use all the time, sometimes every day, especially during spring and summer. So we're gonna just kick it off. My absolute favorite thing that I use every day is the Hori Hori knife. I use this as a trowel, I use it as a knife, sometimes I use it as a shovel. It's pretty sharp, but it also has like a ruler on it, so you're able to measure if you're trying to decide how deep you want to go. I don't know, it's just so handy, and I use it all the time. Like, I don't go in the garden without this. So this is my absolute most favorite thing that I use in the garden. Next is this fun box. So if you're a seed collector like me, you definitely, it can get out of hand real quick. Seeds can be everywhere. And it's fine if you collect your seeds in little plastic bags, but if you like to collect seeds or like to buy a lot of seeds because you start with seed sprouting, it's important to get something that you can organize your seeds in, that will stay dry, that will stay cool, and just organized, because I don't know, it's gotten really out of hand for me at times. And basically what this is, it's just a bin with multiple different tiny bins in it. And so I just organize my seeds for, you know, like all of my Brussels sprouts and broccoli are in this one. This is a gourds and pumpkins bin. Usually one of my reds, yeah. This is all tomatoes. And this just keeps me organized because I'm pretty naturally not organized. And this is super helpful in keeping my seeds dry. And when they're dry and they're cool in a cool place, they last longer. They'll last sometimes many seasons. So this is a must-have for me, at least. My next thing is kind of gross, but once I started using this product, I haven't gone back because this ups my plants to the next level. Let me see if I can get it to focus. Don't look at me. There we go. Alaskan fish fertilizer, or Alaska fish fertilizer, excuse me. What's great about this, so this is a fertilizer, and it's because of the ratios, it won't burn your plants. So like if it touches, you know, when you're pouring it on, you definitely have to dilute it with water. It also smells so bad. It just smells bad, like old fish and dirty socks. It's pretty atrocious, but what it does to your plants is totally worth it. Totally worth the smell. You're also like, you'll smell it for like 3 minutes and then it's gone. But you dilute it and you pour it, you know, on the base of your plants, and you'll notice a difference within 24 hours. So this is what I use to fertilize my tomato plants while I'm growing them January through March in my house or outside on the porch. You know, maybe once every week and a half, I water them with this stuff, and it just really ups their growing. It makes their leaves really green. If there's any plants out in the garden that are just looking kind of sad and pale, I'll give them a water with this stuff, and it 99.9% of the time the plant turns around and it's growing well. So I strongly suggest this. It's you can use it for organic gardening. It's a great natural fertilizer. Okay, so my next must-have is Bootstrap Farmers seed starting supplies. Which now this might look like just your ordinary seed starting tray, but they definitely are not. These are industrial strength pots. And like the kind that you get at Home Depot and Lowe's, they have a time and a place, but they don't last very long. They're super flimsy. I'm just dropping things all over the place. And when I switched over to these 3 seasons ago, like that upped my game when it came to seed starting and transplanting. So like I said, I've had these trays, the ones I'm holding now and other ones, for 3 seasons and they're still completely intact, like new. And one of the things I really like about this particular one is, so you have the regular tray. These have clearly been used. And you can put these cups in here, but this is way more sturdy. Like when you have this layer, which, you know, a space for each cup. I have found this is way more sturdy. It keeps the cups still. And then you can put, like sometimes I pour too much water, like I water them too much. And when I do that and I can tell like the leaves are yellowing from too much water, I'll just lift this out and put it out on the porch for a little bit to dry out and then put it back in, or dump out the water from the bottom. So yeah, I strongly recommend bootstrapfarmer.com. I will leave a link below in the description. Okay, next on the list are these green Velcro strips. So I use these to tie all my tomatoes, cucumbers, whatever is trellising. I use these to secure the plant to the trellis. And what's great about these, so it comes in a big roll and you can cut them to the size you want. And I have found I can use them, if I recycle them, I can use them for several seasons. So I think these are going on, this will be the 3rd season that I use them. So low expense, really useful. I just love the Velcro. Like when you tie stuff and then you're at the end of the season and you have to tear everything out. Things that are tied, it's just a lot more work, but this just comes right off, pops right off because it's Velcro. So these are super useful. Okay, next thing, paddle panels. That's so heavy. This is a really long one. These are so versatile. We use cattle panels on our property for everything. We use it for trellising. It makes fantastic trellising, especially if you're doing arches. We use them for like makeshift animal pens because there have been multiple times where we've just bought an animal on the fly and we need a place for them before we secure like a more permanent structure. And so we'll use these for those. We will, like, our dogs love to dig holes in our backyard. And when they do that and like kind of ruin the lawn, we make a pen around that spot so that the dogs can't go in there and grass can regrow. We just use them for I'm trying to think of other things. We just use them all the time. So this is one of those things. It's great to have a lot on hand, or at least a couple. Oh my gosh. Okay, last but not least, excuse me, my hand trowel. See if I back all the way up, you won't be able to hear me, but here it is. This is a game changer, especially if your garden is a little bit larger, but you don't have a tractor. We don't have a tractor because they're expensive. We have friends with tractors, but when I want to dig up a new garden bed, maybe till up an existing one, this thing makes it so much easier than using like a hoe and a shovel. It's just amazing. This is a vintage one that belonged to my husband's grandfather that his dad gave to me, and I love it. It's so old and it is like the most sturdy thing we own, and it's still very sharp. You can get these new. They're a little pricey. I want to say they range between $200 and $300, but it's a worthwhile investment, especially if you don't have a tractor. It just makes your life a lot easier. You can dig up a huge garden in an hour or two, or plow a huge garden in an hour or two with one of these things. Okay, so that's it. I realize this isn't an exhaustive list. There's plenty of things I'm leaving out, but those are the things that I just use all the time that I strongly recommend a gardener have, and I will link everything in the description below. I hope this helps. Happy gardening.